We're live.
Hey,
Good
everybody.
afternoon. Hey, good to see you guys. I moved the chat panel over here.
Oh, yeah,
you
so I'm not looking over there.
Yeah,
So I don't do
that's
my first day where I was like, oh, let me read over there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, every now and then you have to look over at the camera and say hi
Yes.
and make funny faces. And then you can go back and look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today at Inside the Player Studio. We are joining you here from lovely San Diego, California, where it is uncharacteristically raining, actually.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. Thank you. We are okay. Today we're talking about Player Studio for PlanetSide 2, and we have Bill Yeatts here, the art director on PlanetSide 2.
Hey,
Yay! All right, cool. So let's jump in. Today's the 4th of December as we are streaming this / recording it. And I'll tell you, since it's the beginning of the month, I thought we could look at the top 10 lists for just a moment, a little bit. That Avalanche helmet, again, #1 this week, this month, for the month of November. Frosty 40, way to go. Not to mention the fact that I like the name he picked. But very cool, very cool. Super popular for so long. A heavy cloth helmet in #2, also very popular. And that's from Nico Coco. I like, I don't know if it's Favin or Favin. I think it's Favin.
Yeah.
I really like Favin's Jaeger helmet that came in #3.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good helmets.
Yeah, great stuff going on. The Cavalier headgear that looks like a cowboy hat, I get a kick out of that. It makes me grin every time. That came in 4th from Ebon Nebula. Then we have a couple of camo patterns that came in 5th and 6th. The Windblown camo from Coffee Outlaw and the Tech camo from Beastbuster. Whenever I see the Windblown camo from Coffee Outlaw, I always expect there to be a coffee splash pattern on the front, like it blew his coffee cup, but it doesn't do that. Then the Tech camo. It's amazing how frequently we get a new camo submission that comes in that looks so much like his Beastbuster's original Tech camo, and we have to send them a note back saying, "Yeah, dude, sorry, we already got one like this," and yeah, it's tricky. Viper helmet #7 from Frosty 40, and then the Arctic Wolf helmet from Deadmond. Then the Phantasm helmet from Coffee Outlaw, and then the Flux helmet from NT Colonel. I get a kick out of the NT Colonel name too. Cracks me up.
Old school.
He's old school. Definitely. We could say I brought in my fancy chart that I use for cheat sheets and stuff, and we could talk about.
I brought in mine right here.
I always worry when you make hand gestures.
Oh yeah, I know. HR violation walking around.
I have the top 10 information for EverQuest and EverQuest 2 and Landmark. Landmark, by the way, just turned back on, so they finished patching and the system's now live. If you're watching this show as a way to distract you while you wait for the Landmark the servers to come back on, they're back on now. But don't leave us. I'm just saying, you can patch on your other screen or something like that. The top 10 list. One of the questions they asked us, we saw that the cargo ship came in 6th place. Which cargo ship is that? My back-end tracking system, where I can see some item sales information. Not super helpful. I get cargo ship and a little string of cryptic numbers, and I have no idea how to relate that to which submission and things. Our backend systems need a little bit of work. They were designed to accurately track royalty payments, and that's pretty much all they do right now. But we'll get to that. But for Landmark, the Smith Workshop Home from Splosive came in #1. The Medieval Mini Castle from Lady Astrum. Hey, Lady Astrum. Very good. The perennial favorite Sci-Fi House from Adjor came in 3rd. And then the October 2014 House or Shop from Delincia. And if you've ever, put stuff in the marketplace or done a lot of shopping, you know why it's called things like that. And then finally, this one's a little bit sad. The Voxelmancer Workshop Wall from Hecubus came in number 5. However, you didn't hear this from me. Do not get me in trouble with Smoke Jumper, but there's something really cool coming that will fix that. Anyway, total leak. I'm not supposed to leak. We're not supposed to tell anything too much about H1Z1, but today's not one of those days when we've got 17 people in chat jumping up and down saying H1Z1, H1Z1. No, dude.
Now there's going to be 17
now
people.
People will start chiming in with that. But yeah, today just a couple things before we focus just on PlanetSide 2. EverQuest IC Designs came in number 1. Way to go, IC, with the lovely Celestial Robe ornament. And then Rollin came in second with Santug's Helper's Robe. The robes are doing so well right now. And then IC's Toxic Mists Robe came in third. Nico Zero's Vampiric Robe, for those of you with a dark side, came in fourth. And then there are a couple confusing ones. The Robe of Fire from Rollin came in fifth, and the Flaming Wizard Robe, as opposed to the Flaming Lizard Robe, came in from OnCrack on 7th.
Is there actually a Flaming Lizard Robe?
No.
Oh.
But it would not
You guys get
surprise
on
me
that.
if there is one next week at this
And
point.
a Gizzard Robe.
A gizzard, flaming gizzard.
And they all have to be in the top 10.
If we had been turkeys, that would have been really cool. The Pale Moon Robe from Master Magnus came in 6th, in between the two fire robes. And then Master Magnus also came in 8th with the Scale Mail Robe. It doesn't sound comfortable, but people like it.
Sounds like it'll protect you.
And not saying it. Then there are two that are not robes that come in. Number 9 was the Long Stone Wall section from Paul Samples. Like if you're putting up a wall on your property. Very cool. And then Rollin's perennial top 10 favorite, the Ethereal Destroyer falchion sword. Very cool. I love it. I assume it's a falchion. Very cool. He may have been thinking
I always said
scimitar.
I think I always say it wrong now, huh?
Well, have another glass of wine and then say it. That's my opinion.
Yeah. We'll just call it a sword, and we'll be even. Right?
Well, years of Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I know. Yeah,
That's how I know about falchions. Small trivia thing. I'm in a D&D campaign still. Well, it's only once a month, but on Saturday. But the dungeon master was my dungeon master from 1978.
Nice.
Yes, we're all old now. We have kids and grandkids at the table, but we're still playing together.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
My first game was in '76.
Whew.
I cried when I could not be a dwarf.
Oh.
That's how young I was.
There's no justice in this world or any other world. No justice. that a man cannot be a dwarf. Okay, right. We'll go back to this. EverQuest 2. Free Blood Tomb came in first again from NS6, who is actually a closet member of the staff at the NSA.
Oh, really?
No. And then number 2 was Granny's House from Jerry DeShant. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet, bro. Number 3 was the Long Rope Bridge. He also did the Short Rope Bridge at number 5. So Jerry DeShant cleaning up here with all his rope tricks. And then we have in fourth place for EverQuest 2, we have the Passage Ferry bundle from Nico Zero. A lot of times when people say ferry, they picture something different, but in this case, it looks like a death barge canoe in a sort of Egyptian Greek mythology setting. Very dark, very dark. Super cool. He'd actually built it for for Halloween, but very popular in November too. And he had both a bundle version and then just the boat, if you didn't want the accoutrement. Also, a wood shingled roof came in 6th place from Jerry Deshant. I don't know. People want to place a replacement roof. I haven't figured that part out yet.
I think it's just a testament to when people need parts, and if you're missing the part, there's a demand for it. So
parts is parts.
But you got to do your homework, though. I think that's the thing is if you do your homework, you can see what people need.
All right. So. Well, Jerry knows what people need, and Icy knows. These are some people who really know what people want on the furniture side, and then on the other side we got people like Arctorn and Beastbuster and Frosty and Nico Coco who know exactly what people need in a helmet in PlanetSide 2. It's great. And Favin. I love that we got the Europeans turned on so we can get their designs too, because they approach things differently. It's great.
What is it? Umpteen o'clock over in
Sweden. That's why you don't see, some of those guys here in the chat. I know it's rough.
Yeah.
It's umpteen o'clock right now.
Yeah. I could throw my little bit of Swedish and go leg it. Let's see if anybody's Swedish out
and then
there.
go back to bed because it's late. You're not going to be able to get up for work in the morning. All right. So this was cool. Also, 2 more things. Number 9 was for EverQuest 2, Mummy Fortuna's Ball from Kristen Chamberlain. Her first charted item in EverQuest 2. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And then in the 10th place, I listed it on the forums as just Carved Hearth because of the beautiful database tool I have to work with. Actually, the item in the marketplace, if you go look for it, is called Classic White and Black Marble Fireplace by Jerry Deshant. Jerry loves longer names. He appreciates them. He likes them very descriptive. Unfortunately, they don't fit in the database very well.
He wouldn't have done good in the 8.3
no.
DOS days.
No. He remembers those days, trust me. And he lived with them. He doesn't live with it now anymore, and he knows what he's got better. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that one on that list. But this is fun stuff. Since the last time that Bill and I were on the show with you, we have gone live with the Player Studio viewer apps in EverQuest, EverQuest 2, and PlanetSide 2. We have, learned a few tricks. We've put a little how to get started thing up on the forums so you can read through. Jerry Deshant also put up a lovely starting thing on there too. I should go find it for you on the forums just to show you where it is. But it's super helpful. He wrote it for EverQuest 2, but it works for all of the viewer apps. You get the idea. And it's a great way to get started. We still probably, some people do not like to read walls of text. For that reason, we should one of these days, get someone to do it on video, on camera, and put it up on YouTube. There are a lot of folks who do most of their meaningful learning about Player Studio from YouTube videos. Yeah. And video is a good thing. Oh dear. Okay. So, we're going to skip right over the gentleman who wants to become a walrus and move to Antarctica. Thank God for walruses, and I'm not. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to laugh this whole time. I'm not going to talk about Player Studio. I'll just laugh.
The viewer app is in the next patch for EQ. Good question. I forgot. You were laughing. I don't have my notes here in front of me. I thought it was December 9th. So I think next Tuesday is the next patch.
I'm pretty sure it's next week at some point. I'm pretty sure.
Whenever that patch happens, it will magically appear in the place where stuff magically appears. So now, let's take a look at some of the stuff that has come in for PlanetSide 2 in the last few days.
Yeah. So do you want to do switcheroo.
Oh, yes. Ready? Ready? Here goes. Click.
Ooh, hey, I have a small head over here.
Yay.
So first off, I just want to say that we've really tried to do a good job of clearing out the inventory as it would be. Part of that was we told you guys to resubmit. So I did get some tweets at me saying, hey, I was declined. It could be that we forgot to paste a little message saying, hey, just please resubmit because we want it in the new tool. So if you did get declined on something, that didn't mean we were basically blowing you off, saying, no, you're no good. We want you to resubmit under the tool. We kind of did that in a blanket fashion without trying to do any kind of nitpicking on it. So a lot of you have resubmitted. A lot of those have been processing. It's way faster. Oh, thank goodness. There's still a few hitches where Blender and FBX doesn't really, they're not kosher with skinning. But I did add some rigid materials. So push comes to shove, what you can do is you can submit the helmet as a rigid body and we can actually skin it. It just means it'll take longer to get in the game. But I wanted to keep that door open for you guys. So if you can't get it to save correctly with a character shader, there's a character rigid now. All right, well, so here we got this one right here. Now this is kind of cool what this person has done in terms of doing the screenshot with the camo here. I think, is that generated? I'm trying to remember if this is generated or not, but that's really nice because it lets me see where the camo is going to go. This is having gone and attacking the VS, trying to do IFF correction, and then also adding some more camo where other stuff wasn't camo before. Mm-hmm. This was a real problem where you look at the base helmet, but then when it gets camoed, it definitely changes the look of the helmet. So it's nice to have this kind of camo pattern there. The other thing is the density of the camo pattern. One of the things that is happening, and I see this on a lot of the helmets now that there's a little bit more camo on the helmets, is sometimes people make it very tight and very dense, the second UV channel. When you do that, the camo pattern does not tile at the same rate as it does on the body. So this is something where, with the massive, mega bundle pack that we put out there with all the different assets, you can try bringing them in and seeing what the tile rate is. They don't have to be exact; it just needs to be close, or it needs to look correct. So sometimes it does look better when it's at a higher density or a lower density, but that's just something to think of. The checkerboard just lets you see that your density is equal, but it doesn't necessarily show you, like, okay, what does the density look like? What does that checkerboard look like on the base body? So this one here is real. I actually like this helmet a lot, partly because I love geodesic dome houses. But
hippie.
Yeah. But it's very different. One of the things that is dangerous, and camo patterns actually is the king of this, is things get really close to a previous version that's been submitted or something we already have, and it's like a judgment call at that point whether or not we want to accept it, and is it like, oh, is that one just going to trump the previous camo sales, or it's kind of a sticky subject. But this one's very different. I like it. Let me come back here. So actually I should just talk a little bit more about this. So beyond the geodesic dome house stuff here, there's some stuff I just want to point out that is stuff that I look for, and that is the rear of the helmet has got some interesting features. This is something where it's kind of easy for people to neglect, and right in here, there's just some stuff going on. I mean, this shape is a little bit weird. It might just be that it's a high specular, and then the normals aren't necessarily totally correct on that. But there's information for your eye to digest. Now, generally speaking, you don't see a helmet this close in game. This would be very, very close. But having that little bit of information kind of breaks it up, and it kind of, in a weird way, it fits PlanetSide 2's flavor of science fiction. The other thing that is real nice is the front of the helmet. This just seems to be, a lot of people do this, but it does look good, is you just have a broad theme over the front of the helmet. You have a lot of people that have just a chrome face, or a big chrome face with a little a little eyepiece or a little subtle thing. But this kind of follows that theme, which is also, it's very pleasing. It doesn't mean every helmet needs to be this be this way, but in this particular helmet's case, it works.
Yeah.
It works really well. Another thing that's kind of neat is the of basically different types of materials that the shader provides. So you have the basically reflective, effectively, and then you have like metallic, and then you have this the neck, which ends up being sort of I don't know, it would be a Kevlar or some kind of synthetic cloth, and that is a real nice feel when you put it all together. You put it on the character, and then it really kind of adds personality to whatever class is wearing it. All right, here, let's go.
There's a question in chat here from
Yeah.
Arctorn. Would it be possible to add swatches of the main faction colors that don't have camo applied to the diffuse texture sheets?
Yeah, so I was actually looking at the sheets. The sheets are what the sheets are right now. So, but I'm in service mode on these things. So I want to add, basically, in the example of cloth, I want to add the exact same color of however many cloths we have, and then there's a camo and no camo version. Basically anything that's kind of low gloss or matte works really good to receive camo. And it's occasionally I'll miss a swatch or something like that when I'm going through this because there's a ton of files I have to edit. But that's generally the rule that I'm trying to look at. Like right now, I am working on the NC tint masks. I'm also working on the base texture. I'm adjusting the blue and the yellow a little bit. But generally speaking, yes, it is possible. We do actually have some extra real estate on all the different textures. There's actually one other thing that I would like to mention, and this it sort of complicates things, but I'm doing a trial one with one of the creators out there just to see if it'll work. But you should be able to use, like right now you guys are all using helmet on helmet. You should be able to use the faction armor on the helmet. There's no problem with doing that. Or theoretically,
nice.
Or theoretically you could use a faction armor on a vehicle attachment, or you could use that. There's a bunch of things like that where you could actually, as long as it's just only using one material. So it's a little bit tricky, but the tool enables you to just sort of pick that thing. So it's I need to do a trial run, so don't actually Arctorn, I can't say
Arctorn.
Thank you. Arctorn. Fabian is who I'm going to have try to do the trial run on this to see how it works. He's already done the UV work on a helmet, and I wanted to submit it and go through and make sure nothing breaks. That if we do that, exactly. It'll open up the possibilities so we can actually, if nothing breaks, what could go wrong?
Lots.
But this is actually stuff that the tool enables us to do, because when I import when I get the data from you guys, it brings the shader that you have picked on it, and it's already there. It's mapped correctly. I don't have to go and run through all these hoops. So it's real. I mean, for example, we had someone resubmit a helmet. Let me see if I can pull that up. Where are you? Did I jack
What
this up?
category is it?
It's under accepted.
Okay, hit update. And then type helmet into search, and you'll thin it out a little
That's
bit.
right here. It's this guy.
Okay.
So,
that one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this one, there was some, it's a pretty cool looking helmet. Basically, this one was like, there were edits that before it went live, it was in, coming soon on test. The creator's like, hey, no, there's some bad skinning, and I wanted to adjust it. And it's funny, I actually got to look at the old one and the new one side by side. And it's like, wow, yeah, you definitely leveled this up. And it was really nice to see one of the creators. He contacted you.
Thank you.
And it was like the new tool allowed me to take this,
Nice.
just pull it in, put it over the thing. It was like, thank you, Doku. Yeah, Count Doku.
Yeah. We didn't even think of that.
It's actually it just showed how this tool is enabling us to
Very nice.
to do edits. And you can see this is another really cool helmet. It was
I didn't
accepted.
realize you had done it that fast.
Yeah, it should be, I think, already on test. So
Wow.
Doku, if you're listening, go check it out.
I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna actually send a note to him that's updated. He'll be tickled pink.
Yeah. All right. So we got another one in here. This one is pretty cool too. I kind of like this one. So this one. Oh, let me get the name of this before I. This is called Legate. Legate.
It's a Latin word.
Yes. What does it mean?
It's like from the law, or someone whose job has to do with administering the law.
Oh, this one's yours, huh?
Oh, Arctorn.
You know what I wish?
Woohoo.
I'm just going to say this while we're streaming. I wish I had their name.
Their name on there?
Yeah, like I have that. I have their ID.
You
guys can't. I can do.
Yeah.
See this right here?
Station ID number.
Yeah.
None of you know your station ID number.
I am not a number. I am a man.
And we're trying to look you guys up in the system. Dude.
Well, it's good that you have a number.
A number
for financial reasons, but
yeah.
So this one's pretty cool. This is another one that I like. It's actually it's very lean. Most of the helmets for the TR that I've seen lately are very heavy. Yes, you guys. I mean, you're getting secret information when we show you.
Shh, don't show them the secret stuff. You guys are a hoot.
This one's cool. I like this one. It's very different. Obviously they're all similar, all going on the same head, but this one it's got a lot of personality. I also like the use of emissive. Stop streaming when you go and work on the game. Nobody's watching. All right, sorry. I always like to read occasional things out loud, but I get myself in trouble.
Guys, we can't. Yeah, never mind. Keep going.
All right, yeah. This is cool. We'll put this in. The stuff that I really like. I love this tubing on the side. I love these little back things here. These little I don't know what they'd be. We'll call them air purifiers or something like that, or power cells. The gas mask look is always cool. The kind of spider eye, multi-eye effect there is cool. I also like how it's using the swatches to get some of the information that's in the swatch. That's always a benefit. It's a lot of people they'll do a helmet and it's just pure red because they just squished it down into a little teeny swatch. It loses a little bit of that kind of wear and tear that I like to see on the helmets, and seeing that on there is really cool. You'll probably this helmet, when I get to doing the TR, it'll probably get a little bit more scratchy. That's one of the things I'm trying to do, is get a little bit more wear and tear on all of the TR and NC stuff. But that'll be coming later. I can only do like so many things at once.
Will people be able to make armors in the player studio?
Eventually. That it's a little bit more complicated with armor. The main reason is the armor has to interact with many things. It has to interact with the animation poses, all the different helmets. But there's no. I mean, you guys are, very talented. You guys can create this. You guys can figure it out. So it's one of those things where I don't see there being too much of a problem, other than that's where skinning. So this is where if you guys can't get it to a skin correctly, us skinning it that's a lot more effort to do, as opposed to, I have to deal with upper spine, neck, head, 3 bones, no big deal. When you go to skinning the whole body, it's like, and then how does it look when it's crouched? How does it look when you're doing this and that? So it's a little bit more complicated, but I would love to, anything we do cosmetic, I would love for you guys to be able to do. That's so. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is our non-3D assets. I just want to. So right now I have a ton of decals. We're going to try to. We prioritized some of the helmets over those. We have a ton here, you can see, that are just waiting to go. Well, here, there's stuff that's actually already in the game here. Let me just go to valid. So a lot of these, we're gonna try to blow through all these. The one thing that I want to say is I just declined someone. They submitted an image that was basically, I don't know if it's copywritten, but it's basically it was like copy and paste of a character from an anime show. And I just want to tell you guys, we're not liable. If I put it in, if I just happen to put it in, you guys are liable. I mean, the company who owns that, they can go after you. We'll just pass the information on. I mean, we'll cease and desist and pull it down and all that stuff. But you guys are the ones who are liable for if you put up something that is protected material. So you got to be careful. You need to basically do a little bit of your homework when you submit stuff. So
and we have banned someone from participation in Player Studio for using copyrighted materials that they pulled off the internet and given them to us.
Yeah. So just, it's one of those things where, I'm not going to tell you don't try to copy something because it's a good idea. I think a lot of science fiction stuff is copied, but it's when you literally take it and you put the exact same thing over here, that's not good. But you can do ode to things like, oh, hey, this would look cool. I'm going to make it look like this thing.
But draw it yourself.
Yeah, make it yourself. Make it yourself.
Yeah.
Don't download a model from some site that is ripped from another game or something like that. So we've got a lot of stuff here that we're about to go through this whole big list. And the amazing thing that I want to say is partly because we're waiting for resubmissions, but we've actually got this into a manageable amount. It's great. So hopefully we'll be able to stay on top of this. Coming back, I'm all over the map here. For these decals, you can see there's a whole. I just want to show you guys. There's a range of visuals here. I don't have a problem with any of these visuals. The only thing I'm always worried about is if it's something that could have legal problems. So I'm going to try to get as many of these into the pipe as possible, because basically these can be your guy's outfit. They could be just something you think is really cool. So we're going to try to streamline this as well. We kind of put it, we've been putting some in, but we've been trying to get ahead on a lot of the 3D assets first. Now, one thing about camos is right now, if you want to submit a camo, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting it on hold right now. So I don't want to tell you not to submit camo, but right now we have gobs of camos. So let's hold off on camos for a little bit. Or if you want to submit a camo, and I'm going to put it on hold, and when we want to, have a camo event, or we,
Sure.
for whatever reason we clean out our camo stocks and we want to have some new fresh ones, we'll pull them at that time. But right now I really want to focus on decals and 3D assets. That's the big thing that I want you guys to focus on.
There's an unrelated question in there about EQN. Let me point out something about the EQN one. And he's asking, are we working with Player Studio in advance on EQN or waiting till after it's live? Player Studio for EverQuest and EverQuest 2 and Landmark and to some degree PlanetSide 2 is all part of getting ready for EQ. And I mean, the whole reason we launched it early in EverQuest and EverQuest 2 was so that we could get ready with some learning curve for EverQuest Next. So yes, we're already working with it.
Yeah, we plan on having it on any project that it's feasible to have. Yep. So I guess that's kind of, I could probably, let me see if I can find another one that we've accepted to show.
Do you want to talk to him about how people are doing with the vehicle customizations? Are there mistakes people are making? Are there areas where the player base is underserved? Any advice you might have for them?
Well, so vehicle customizations are a challenging thing for you guys. Not necessarily to make them, but you are inherently becoming much narrower. So if you wanted to make a cosmetic for the Sunderer, it's basically Sunderer drivers that you're targeting. Mm-hmm. And so it's a much smaller market. And generally speaking, what we found is there's demand, but it's not like the helmets. It's not like the camos, where it's like you're going to hit a broader market. That doesn't mean we don't want you guys to keep making it, but it definitely, in terms of us prioritizing trying to get stuff in, generally we try to get the highest demand stuff in first, which is the helmets, which is the camos. The other thing we've been noticing, although we haven't had a lot of resubmissions with the tool yet for vehicle attachments, is there's usually like, oh, the there's an issue when we look at it in terms of like the way the UVs are set up. There's like no detail normal on it. Like it's shoved all into some weird little, so it exists, but it's not functional. Probably a good way to look at it is if you look at I'm trying to think of the stuff that's in the if you look at any of the stuff in the sample packs, you can actually look at the vehicles. There's pretty much everything has detail normals on it. Just a little bit of grit, a little bit of tooth. And if you just submit something and it's perfectly flat, it's that's just probably not going to look right once it's in game. The exception would be if it's chrome. Chrome might be the exception to that because it doesn't, you want to be super clean and shiny. One thing we are having to do actually is, so when we get it from you, the names of your UV sets, we like them to be called map 1, map 2, map 3. Lowercase map number 1, 2, 3. That's what our internal shader looks for, that name. So when we get stuff that's called UV set, UV set 0, or I got one where the UV set was called none. It's easy to fix. It's just one more thing I have to do, and anything we can do to make it to where I can literally just grab your asset and shove it in is a huge plus. That doesn't mean we're not going to do it, but anything you guys do to help us, it just means your stuff gets up on a test quicker and or in the store quicker. So another thing too is if you guys want, I'm trying to get as much stuff in before our next kind of we're kind of past the lock, but this stuff is pretty low risk, so I'm sort of trying to shove it on test as fast as we can. So if you've got stuff that you're close, try to get it in this weekend, and then I can see about trying to get it in next week before we do the builds. So any more questions, or is it a lot of?
Well, we're looking at it. Yeah, it's okay to put your questions in there. Obviously, H1Z1, we're going to have Player Studio in it. And
actually, Arctorn, Chris Bishop, he's actually done, I believe, a huge post on a lot of these little things. I don't know if it has every little piece of detail, but he's been trying to maintain it with, hey, look at this, do this. He's like just kind of like a pointers thing. I don't know what his station name is, though.
I don't either. It might be C Bishop 1 or something.
Yeah, that could be. It could be.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Crap.
Let me see. H1Z1. Are you guys oversaturated with camo submissions? It's not so much submissions. It's the number of camos we have. It's starting to get very. If you go into and you're like, you want to buy a camo, it's like, the Declaration of Independence just rolled out underneath you. And that's actually sort of a negative thing, because what happens is depending where you are in that mix, people might not even get down to you. So there's other stuff we need to do internally. That's why I said I don't want you to stop making them. What I wanted to let you know that basically I'm sitting on them for right now until we're ready until we can solve some issues on our side to make it to where that's a little bit easier to browse through stuff, as well as maybe we might put stuff off and have stuff, hide stuff, or exactly what we'll do. I can't speak to that yet because we haven't figured that out, but we want to get it to where it's easier for people to get to what they want, and right now just making the list a bajillion pages long is not the way to do it. Yeah,
there's one question that we scrolled past.
I've been playing with Dash 3D.
Can I
turn a modeling I do into a decal? Yeah, no, we actually have bomber style art already. So as long as it's teen rated, that's fine with me. So if you want to have a pinup model style thing on the side of your Galaxy, we've got decals already. I think actually one of the really good selling one was that little the devil lady one. yeah, by all means, have at it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So cool.
Any other questions?
Oh, it's PS2-Bishop. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Arctorn.
Okay.
What would I do without you guys? You guys are awesome.
I know.
I'm being serious. Doing my VS changes. People bouncing ideas off me, telling what they like, don't like. It's been really, really awesome. So, if you're not following me, please do. And if you have ideas and stuff, tweet at me. I try to respond to everybody that I can.
Here are Twitter things.
Oh yeah, there you go. I can't promise I'm going to respond to everybody. Sometimes people ask questions I can't answer,
Right.
but I want to be feel like you guys kind of, if you just have something you want to shout out, and it's a really good way to. I don't have a bajillion followers, so it's not like I get overly spammed. But if you guys want to just toss something at me, let me know, and I'll try to respond to it.
Can we get an option to maybe sort camos by a main color?
That I can't tell you how many cool ideas like that I've come up with. The challenge is that all the moving parts, changing the UI, and then getting the back end of the UI to the code to change.
Yep.
There's the way the camo system works. It's kind of like a complicated pattern plus tint system, and I don't know if you guys saw the thing I did on test where I tried out modifying the opacity. There's a ton of stuff you can do, and it was like, oh, I'd love to be able to do, you guys to be able to just do this, do all these little settings. Unfortunately, it's way more complicated because of the way it's set up to expose it at this time, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up. So we'll see how that goes. If we can do that, then basically maybe we can get better sorting options, better search options in the store, and or maybe there's stuff where people can have a palette of colors to choose from in the future. Who knows? So I'm not going to promise anything, but that's my hope, is to give you guys more functionality.
When are we going to get helmets for Max?
Hey, you know what? If you guys want to try submitting one, go for it.
Holy crap!
Yeah, just submit one.
Nice. All right.
Now I'm going to tell you, the Max is much. It's not like this. You can pretty much make any shape. The Max helmet is going to be a little bit more challenging to basically make it work because of the way it works, but not insurmountable. The other thing too is the Max helmet will be a Max only helmet. So it's similar to like the Sunder or anything, but it's even worse because it's just that faction Max. So
right.
You're gonna have a much smaller audience. But I'm good with.
All right.
I'm good
but
with
you know,
guys
a
submitting
few
it.
of them will be appreciated by the players.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another question. Before T-Ray left, there was rework being done on TR armor, particularly the Max armor. Is that still being worked on?
So what we had done is we did a bunch of like alternate bodysuits. So that included the armor on top of it. Effectively one for every class, for every faction, male, female. Getting it hooked up, like everything, is not as easy as it would seem. So we're looking at, there's kind of a cop-out way of doing it where we could actually have it work as a cosmetic. The danger is that it's well, it's not really a danger, but it's not going to be as cool as it could be if it's a cosmetic. This is my opinion, but because we wouldn't be able to have another look that can then have its own other cosmetics on it. It would just sort of be that look and that's it. So, but yeah, that's what we're working on right now. Well, not this very second. I'm streaming right now, but the the idea is we want to get those hooked up in the game, and you guys, however, we're going to let you get at them. Let you guys get at them.
Nice.
The customer, that is.
Also, there's a suggestion that we set up the store so that we can sort items by creator. You can do a search. If you're looking at the window, at the top there's a little bar that's subtle where you can type in a search thing in the store, in the depot. I use it. I find it very helpful. It took me a moment to find it the first time. I don't know if you can type in a creator name though. I haven't tried that. and search on it. Sometimes it feels like it's pulling words out of the description and not just the name of it. So I'm guessing.
I couldn't tell you exactly how many fields the
I'll
search
have to go back
uses,
and
but
try it at my desk after this.
but ultimately, having a thing where it's filters and you could have all these different filter buys, that would be awesome. But until it appears, it's just the plain old search as it is. All
Okay.
right, well,
Any other questions? If not, I'll tell you what our schedule is. Next Thursday, the 11th of December, we're going to have Inside the Player Studio focused on EverQuest. Then 2 weeks from today, on the 18th of December, we'll be focused on EverQuest 2. And then we go on a break.
Dave Brown, right?
With Dave Brown.
Downtown Dave Brown. Dave Brown is awesome.
He's a crazy man. I mean, he's great.
Yeah.
Both. You'll get a kick out of Dave.
Yeah, Dave's a good guy. Be nice to him.
Be nice. Yeah. And then we get a couple breaks because Thursday, the 25th of December, is a bad day for a show, and Thursday, the 1st of January, is also a bad day for a show. So we get a little break.
Well, it might be a good day for them, but not for us.
It'll be a good day in general.
Yeah.
On both occasions, but it will not be a day that we will be at the office streaming.
No.
If I'm streaming, I'm going to be at home with a glass of wine. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for coming out.
Thank you very much.
And
it's been great fun.
Get some more submissions in there. I never thought I'd say please send more.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Way to go. And try your hand at the Max helmet.
Yeah. And make sure you put that in the name somehow so we know that it's Max helmet.
Never forget that last category at the bottom where you can put comments to us. Some people explain all kinds of things. It's great. It's super helpful. It can sometimes be the most valuable part of your submission form.
Yeah.
Mention Max.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day.